Father, I am coming to you tonight with nothing left, and I mean that in the most literal, unadorned sense possible. Not the kind of nothing that is a figure of speech used to communicate that someone is tired, but the real kind. The kind where I have reached into myself to find what I need to keep going, and discovered that the well is genuinely dry. The strength I have been drawing on throughout this season has run out. The resilience I have been relying on has reached its limit. The determination that has carried me through previous hard seasons has given way tonight to something simpler and more honest. The admission that I cannot do this alone, that I have been trying, that the trying has left me empty, and that the only thing left for me to do is stop pretending I have reserves I do not have, and bring the full truth of my weakness to you. I am weak tonight, Father, and for the first time in a long time, I am not going to apologize for it or immediately follow it with a list of ways I plan to fix it. I am simply going to let it be what it is, and trust that you are enough for what I am not. I confess to you tonight that I have spent far too long trying to operate in my own strength, not because I do not believe in yours, but because somewhere in the culture of productivity and self-sufficiency, I absorbed the belief that needing help was a character flaw rather than a human reality. I have pushed through when I should have stopped. I have smiled and said I was fine when I was not. I have kept going on sheer willpower, long past the point where wisdom would have directed me to rest and lean. And the cumulative result of all that noble-sounding self-reliance is the depletion sitting in my chest tonight, the exhaustion that goes deeper than sleep will fix, the weariness that is not just physical, but emotional and spiritual, the quiet desperation of someone who has been strong for so long that they have almost forgotten what it feels like to let someone else carry the weight. Not as a temporary measure until I feel strong enough to take it back, but as the beginning of a different relationship with my own limitations, one that is more honest, more sustainable, and more grounded in the truth that you are never asking me to do this alone in the first place. Be my strength tonight, Father, not a supplement to whatever strength I have remaining, but a complete replacement for it, because what I have remaining is not enough to take me where I need to go. Fill every hollow place inside me that exhaustion has carved out. Move into the emotional depletion, the mental fatigue, the spiritual weariness, and fill all of it with something that originates from you rather than from me. Something that does not run out when I have given everything I have. Something that remains present and available even at 3 in the morning when everything feels most impossible and most dark. Let your strength be the thing that gets me through tonight, through tomorrow, and through every day of this season that still requires something from me that I do not currently possess. Not my summoned courage, not my manufactured determination, yours, genuine, unlimited, freely given to someone who has finally stopped pretending they do not need it. Lift the heaviness, Father, the specific, weighted heaviness that has settled over my spirit and made everything feel harder than it should, that has made simple tasks feel monumental and small challenges feel insurmountable. I know the heaviness is real, and I know it has accumulated over time from things I have been carrying that were never mine to carry alone. Take it from me tonight with the same gentle authority with which you do everything, not ripping it away roughly, but receiving it as I release it, holding it in hands that are far more capable of bearing it than mine have ever been. And replace the weight with something lighter, not a naive lightness that ignores the reality of my situation, but the particular lightness that comes from having genuinely given something to someone who can actually handle it. The relief of a burden transferred to shoulders that do not buckle under it. When I feel like giving up tonight, and there is a real possibility that I will, remind me that your work in my life is not dependent on my strength to sustain it. Remind me that the things you have set in motion do not stall because I am running on empty, that your faithfulness is not contingent on my performance, your plans are not derailed by my limitations, and your presence does not diminish in the moments when I am least able to feel it. Remind me of the seasons I have already survived, that I once believed would break me, and let that track record speak louder than the voice tonight that is suggesting this time is different, this time is too much, this time you might not be enough. You have always been enough, and you are enough right now. I surrender to you tonight everything I have been carrying that belongs to you. The outcomes I cannot control, the people I cannot fix, the situations I cannot resolve, no matter how much energy I pour into trying, and the fears about the future that have been stealing the peace I need to function in the present. I give you my exhaustion without apology. I give you my doubt without shame. I give you the fragile, depleted, barely holding together version of myself that I would normally hide from everyone, including myself. And I trust that this is exactly the version of me that you receive with the most compassion, because you have never required me to arrive already recovered before you were willing to help me heal. As I prepare to rest tonight, I am choosing to lay down not just my body, but the mental and emotional labor I have been doing without ceasing. The managing, the worrying, the planning, the trying to hold everything together through sheer force of anxious attention. I am choosing to trust that the things I release into your care tonight will be no less safe for my having stopped vigilantly supervising them. I am choosing to believe that rest is not irresponsibility, it is wisdom. And I am choosing to sleep tonight not as someone who has resolved everything, but as someone who has entrusted everything, which is a far more peaceful place to lay one's head. Thank you for being enough, for my weakness, for my failures, for my fears, for my depleted reserves, and for every tomorrow that will require more from me than I currently have to give. Thank you for the truth that your sufficiency is not diminished by my insufficiency, but is actually most powerfully expressed through it. That the places where I run out are precisely the places where your limitless supply is most available and most undeniable. Thank you for this night, for this prayer, and for receiving me exactly as I am, rather than as I wish I were. God is enough. Not as a comfort I am reaching for in desperation, but as the deepest, most tested, most reliable truth I know. And tonight, I am resting in it completely.